Hello, and I'm glad to be talking to you again today. In this video, we're going to talk about nervousness. So, as a disclaimer, like I always do in my videos, as a disclaimer, I'm not a professional or qualified to give advice on how to cope with being nervous. But again, like I do, I'm just sharing my own experience of experiencing nervousness in different situations. So so how so first of all, starting with school, when you do exams in school, or tests, I've always had a huge problem with being nervous while doing exams, because they time you. The problem is because we're given a specific time to complete a test or complete an exam, and you're being supervised. And when they actually put a timer in the exam room, and the teacher is there, so once the time is gone, like say they give you 1 hour to complete an exam, and there's a teacher there watching, making sure that everyone is behaving in the exam room. And so the minute I know, because I would know how long the exam will be, so let's say if it'll be a 30-minute exam or 1 hour exam, 60 minutes. The minute I sit in, like, I will be so nervous. I will be revising for the exam, getting ready, and during the revision I'll be doing well, and I'll feel like I'm ready because I've read so many books, I've read so many sources about the particular exams. But then when it comes to the day of the exam, to take the exam, and they're getting us ready to go in the classroom, in the actual exam hall or exam room that we'll be doing the exam in, that preparation, I start getting really, really nervous, like so nervous the whole time. We're lining up to go into the exam room, and then we get into the exam, and then we find our names on the seats, and everyone sit on desk with their names on. And then there you go, I see that exam paper, and there's a pen there, and I get even more nervous. The minute I see the exam paper in front of me on my desk, I get extremely nervous, even more nervous than I was before. And then they say, okay, your time starts now. You can now start your exam. And they put the timer. I can see the time going down, counting from 60 minutes down to 59 minutes. It's 58 minutes, and I'm thinking, oh, I can't do this. And I know I've revised well, and I was ready. All of a sudden, I forget every single thing I revised, and I'm looking at the questions. I just don't know the answer. The question could be the easiest question in the world. Let's say it's a maths exam, and the question is 1 + 1. This is just an example, and I'm not exaggerating. 1 + 1 was the answer. All I have to do is write down the number, the answer, which is obviously 2. But because I'll be so nervous, I'm looking at the time, and the time is going down, it's counting down. And I'm looking at the exam paper, I'm looking at the question, I'm looking around me in the room. Everyone is so quiet. Everyone's quiet. Everyone's got everyone's heads are down on the exam paper, writing. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how can I do this? This is too much. Even though it's quiet, I feel like it's so loud in my head, and I can't do it. I can't answer the questions. I can read even reading the question in my head, because obviously you can't make a sound. You're not allowed to talk. Just reading the questions in my head, I'm panicking. I can't concentrate. How can I not? It's so weird. Like, how can you not concentrate when it's quiet? Normally when it's loud and it's just the environment is so busy and so loud, it's hard to concentrate. It's hard to gather your thoughts and concentrate. But in this case, it's very quiet. It's not busy, it's quiet. No one is talking, not even one tiny volume of noise around. It's that quietness that made me so nervous. And in my head, it was so loud, because my own thoughts are so loud. I'm talking, I don't know what I'm thinking about, but all I'm thinking is I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. And I can't answer, and I'm wasting so much time just thinking that I can't do it, feeling so scared of the questions, feeling so nervous to just answer the questions. And I'm telling myself, okay, you need to stop this now, you need to stop. You look at the time, you're wasting time. It's been 2 minutes and I've not answered one simple question, and I've got loads of questions waiting for me to answer. Oh my gosh. So then now I'm panicking and I'm looking around, and I see everyone writing, and I'm thinking they're going to finish before me. Oh my god, I've not even started, and I'm wasting time just thinking these things to myself. And then I'm like, okay, let me just write the answer, and I'm trying to think of what the answer is. I can't concentrate. So because of I'm distracting myself with all these thoughts going on in my head, and I end up writing the wrong answers, and then I move on to the next question. And I do the same thing. And especially if I come across a question that is a bit not straightforward, you've got to really think about it and write your workouts. Like, let's say in maths, because sometimes you got to show how you got to the answer, so you got to write down your work, how you worked out the answer. When it comes to those kind of questions, that is even worse, because I can't concentrate. In my head is so loud. I've got so many thoughts in my head that just I'm panicking in my head, and I can't concentrate. And so questions like that, I'm gonna write things down, but they won't make sense, and I'm gonna get the wrong answers, and I will not finish the test because it will be time will be up, and I've not even done half of the paper. Half of the exam paper is still there blank. I've not done anything because I've wasted so much time being nervous and talking to myself in my head and panicking in my head, and then that's it. And then they tell us, okay, time's up. Now you might put the pen down and hand in your papers. And that I get even more nervous because now I'm thinking I've not finished the test, and I don't know, I've not even double checked the answers that I've put down for the questions that I've done. So I've not double checked them to see if I made any mistake, and so I can correct it. And on top of that, I've not even done half the questions, so I know I'm gonna fail this 100%. So, and then I end up failing. I start so many exams and so many tests in that same way. Every time I'll be nervous and I'll do the same thing and I'll fail. Some of them I'll pass, just about pass, but and then once the exam is over, I have two mixed feelings, opposite feelings. I'm panicking knowing that I'm definitely gonna fail because I know I didn't do well, and the other feeling is the feeling of relief, knowing that, oh, at least it's over. I don't have to feel that feeling of being nervous and panicking. That the fact that I don't have to feel that anymore, it's over, that makes me feel so relieved. But on the other hand, I'm worried, like, I can't fail this exam, I need to pass it, and what am I gonna do? So I just carries on. The feeling doesn't stop, it just carries on. And it was just every time it was the same thing. Every time I sit down to do an exam, it was the same thing. And now think, how come other people are passing the exams, and how come other people are just chilled, relaxed, doing the exams, head down, and they're writing and they finish. I'll see some people finish the exams, like an exam that would take 60 minutes. Within 30 minutes, they finish and they've handed in their papers and they've walked out. They're free to go. They've walked out of the room because they finish, and they have that extra 30 minutes to relax, to have a drink, to eat something and calm their nerves and just relax, really. And I'm thinking, how can you do that? How can you do the exam that quick? It's a 60-minute exam. How can you do it half the time, like 30 minutes? And I asked them, did you double check all the questions? And they said, yeah, I did it, and I double checked all the questions, and the ones that I got wrong, I did them again, and I got them right. Yeah. And then when the results come, they've passed. Some got like 100%. Some got like 98 out of 100 and stuff like that. And I'm like, how is that possible? How is it that I panic when I know? The worst thing is this: once the exam is over and I'm there busy panicking, And now once I've so the exam is over, I'm relieved that it's over, and my nerves have calmed, so I've calmed down, and I'm thinking, I remember those questions because I still remember them vividly, and I know the answers to every single one of 90% of the questions. I knew the answers to, the correct answers to, because I remember revising for them. But because I was so nervous, I couldn't bring myself to concentrate and think straight, so I could write down the right answers. And I feel so bad. I feel so disappointed in myself when I'm gonna fail for sure, but not because I couldn't give the right answers. I could, but it's just that I let the nerves get the better of me. And that's just the worst thing, because when the results come out and I failed and I knew I could have passed with really good marks, that is annoying. And being nervous, it's not just in examining anything. Like in the job interview, you could be you could be sat there, you've revised, you've prepared really well, and you feel like, yeah, you can do it. But when you sit in front of a panel of interviewers, you get extremely nervous and you just don't know what to say. Everything that you planned is gone. Your head is empty, and you can't answer any questions that they're asking you. And then you end up not getting the job because you just couldn't stop being nervous. So yeah, it is a problem. But back then, so what I ended up doing, because I did get better at doing exams, I did get better and I started scoring really high marks. And I did amazing in my final exams. But yeah, I did get help, because I got fed up of the nerves getting in the way of my success, of getting grade marks. I got fed up of the nerves getting in the way of me getting that job that I applied for, and I went for the interview. I obviously I looked for help, and I got help, and and it helped. Obviously, the first time I sat another exam after receiving help. I did a little bit better. I was still nervous, but I was able to at least control my nerves. I was able to calm my nerves down by just a little bit, at least enough to think straight, to answer questions, at least simple questions. So, and then with practice, the more tests I did, the more exams I sat, and the more help I received, things got better. I learned how to control my nervousness. I learned how to push that feeling down and not let it get the better of me, and not let that feeling of nervousness affect what I'm doing, affect my ability to answer questions in the exam or write them down, or answer questions in the job interview. I learned to suppress that feeling so hard that every time it tries to get back to the surface or to the top, I am able to control it. I'm able to push it back down and carry on answering the questions, carry on concentrating, and look confident. So I learned to build confidence that way. And the more I was in a situation, the more I was doing exams, the more I was doing job interviews, the more I practiced the things I learned from the help I got on how to control my nerves, the better it got. And yeah, I can say today I could sit an exam and I would feel nervous, but not to a point where I can't concentrate, because it is normal for anyone to feel nervous. But I've learned to be confident. My confidence has surpassed my nervousness. So now I can do an exam and I'll do really well. I'll do really well as long as I practice. I revised for the exam really well. That's all I need. The nerves will not get better of me, so at least this is how what's the word? I managed to beat nervousness, So yeah, it's normal for humans to feel nervous. It's just part of life. But But I think it's once it start getting in the way of you achieving things that are actually important to you, then that's when you should do something about it. Seek professional help in this area. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next. Bye.